Hey parents, I am so sorry that this video is getting up so late. I tried uploading my last one and I'm really not sure what happened with that. It just would not load. So I'm going to make a new one. So basically what I want to do is I just want to outline, like, we're moving from the first trimester, the first few months of school, into the second trimester. And what I want to talk about is just what to expect in the months to come, what we're going to be talking about, and basically just what to expect. So the first thing I want to talk about is math. In math in third grade, we really try to get students to understand the concepts of multiplication. So what is multiplication? Why do we multiply? When would this be useful? And part of that is for them to understand two things. One, to understand how to break numbers apart to make them more comprehensible. For example, 13 times 3 is the same thing as 10 times 3 plus 3 times 3. So just like breaking them into small and more cohesive numbers so that they can be more fluent, not only with our smaller numbers, but our larger numbers as well. And that will help them with area, perimeter, how much material do I need to order, what kind of science experiments can I set up. It really just helps them expand their critical thinking. So we have not done any multiplication times tests. I've not introduced them to that. We've done some fluency building around that, but I have never introduced them to a formal, all right, guys, we're going to work on our ones, and I'm going to give you 1 minute to do as many as you can, and then I'm going to grade you and pass you. I haven't done that yet. Will I? Yes. I'm getting there because the third grade standard in third grade is to have them know their multiplication tables 0 through 12 through fourth grade, or maybe it's 0 through 10. Anyways, regardless, they need to know those fluently by the time they go to fourth grade, because in fourth grade they're doing double-digit multiplication and understanding why we multiply double-digit multiplication and how we can break those apart with regard to area and perimeter as well. So they do need to know those pretty fluently. I'll also just say this. Memorization almost never happens in school. It almost always happens at home. And what I mean by that is not necessarily at school or at home, but like in-class work is in-class work. That's when I'm instructing. That's when they're learning directly from me. At home would be like a practice. So here's your worksheet. You can go work on this at your desk. You can work on it during recess. You can work on it before school, after school. It doesn't matter. That's just when it happens because that's when they're practicing. That's when they're doing it fluently. And so the more that they do that, the more fluent they become, just like with reading, just like with speaking. So if you really want your child to be successful with multiplication, the best thing to do is to set aside a time during the day in a regular routine, 5 to 10 minutes of flashcards. How it is. I don't want students, the goal is not to have them memorize, but it is to give them an edge up on, can you quickly look at this and understand it? Even if it's like, I don't know 6 times 7, but I do know what 5 times 7 plus 1 times 7 is. Even if it's something like that, which I still have to do in my own brain. I do double doubles. I'm not good with 8s and 9s. And so I will, in my head, think 7 times 8 or 6 times 8. That's 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 is 48. That sounds like a long process, but your brain does it real quick. And so that's what I want students to start getting in the habit of thinking. Instead of, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I can't do this. I can't do 6 times 8. You know what I mean? So work with students on that at home. Science. The big theme this trimester is weather. And so we're going to be looking at weather and climate. We're going to be looking at weather over time and climate over time. So what is the weather like day to day? And then what is the climate like? And what changes have we seen through an agricultural perspective? So by the end of the unit, I want students to understand that climates that change, we have to change with it. Agriculture has to change with it. So we're going to be looking at patterns, cause and effect. We're going to be looking at lots of tables, lots of diagrams, lots of data, not only just from this area. Another big thing is, can we have different weather patterns in different areas? Like, for example, what does Florida look like today? Is it the same as what our weather is like outside? Probably not. Why? So getting them to understand that in science. So all of our reading, all of our writing, all of our stuff is going to be really central around patterns of weather and cause and effect of hazardous weather. Reading, I'm just scrolling down on my list. I want to make sure that I hit everything. Reading, right now, we are really focused on extracting information from an informational text. So there's not going to be a lot of storytelling, not a lot of story reading, not a lot of story writing. It's going to be a lot of, can you provide information? Can you write information? Can you read about something and tell me what that was about and what did you learn from that reading? So we're getting out of, in third grade, we're getting out of learning to read and getting into reading to learn. And so that's what we're mostly going to focus on for both reading and writing. My emphasis in writing is going to be sentence structure and paragraph structure. Do we have an introduction? Do we have body paragraphs? Do we have a conclusion? I need students to understand that that structure of how do we write and like what makes a paragraph a good paragraph, or how can I include more details for my reader to understand what I'm saying. And I'm sure that many of you, when you look at your child's writing, you realize, oh yeah, that's missing. It's because we just haven't worked on that yet. And so that's what we're going to get to this trimester. That's it. That's as far as updates go. Conferences are coming in a couple of weeks. So we have Thanksgiving break, then we have 1 full week of school, and then conference week the next week. So tomorrow, please look for the conference slips I don't have one available to me right now, but look for the blue conference slip. It's going to come home. It's going to have your child's time on it. I am also going to post the conference schedule tomorrow, Tuesday, November 22nd. I'm going to post the conference schedule, so you should be able to see your child and what day and at what time. If it does not work, please let me know. I am really, really good usually about getting parents in that fits their work schedule or whatever, even if I'm staying late. I don't mind. It's just really, really, really important to me that I meet with every parent for at least 20 minutes, just to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're all doing what we need to do to make your child successful. So, as always, if you have any questions, please dojo message me. Like I said, I'm always on that thing. So, yeah, we'll talk to you soon. See you all at conferences.